Jay Glazer, Fox NFL insider. He has a new book, Unbreakable, How I Turned My Depression and Anxiety into Motivation. And you can too. Now available online, wherever books are sold. Always great to talk to Jay. Is Ben retiring from the Steelers or retiring from football? Do we know yet?
Yeah, from football.
Okay.
You got me? Yeah, he's and well, not only that, I think they were a little surprised he came back this past year. So,
but nobody has made any. He hasn't said anything about this. Why is he holding out?
It's not the Steelers. They know.
Okay.
It's not a. This wasn't a. No, this. They like I said, they were surprised he came back this year, and then when he did, obviously they were lucky that he did. But yeah, there was kind of like, oh wow, he's coming back. All right, fantastic. Here we go. But no, yeah, he's not going to leave the Steelers and go somewhere else.
There was a report, I think Albert Breer, the Monday morning quarterback, that would the Raiders explore trading for a coach? They did this with John Gruden.
I said the same thing on Fox.
Okay,
where they're look, it's the Raiders, right? When you have Carlos Santana playing your halftime in a preseason game, that's a rock star place, right? So they are. I wouldn't be. Look, I think Rich Bisaccia should be the coach. Like it's incredible what he's done with all the stuff that they've had to endure this season. But yeah, I think they're looking for a rock star to trade for a. It doesn't mean it'll happen. A trade for Mike Tomlin or Sean Payton or something along those lines, or explore Jim Harbaugh, somebody like that. You got all these big whales in Vegas, right? So you want to make sure you kind of have a whale. But listen, the bottom line is you got to win. And Rich Bisaccia took this team, did a way better job than John Gruden did, and steered them through an awful lot. Like, man, people could say as much as they want that, oh, no, it's not a distraction. It's not a They had more distractions than any team I've ever seen.
Yeah. Where does John Gruden's lawsuit stand?
That I don't know. Is anything legal? I know I'm not smart enough to really.
Do you know Gruden?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But is this?
We're not boys. I wouldn't say we're boys. No.
Do you think this is just a settlement here eventually with Mark Davis?
Again, that's the legal part. I don't know. I'm not sure.
The Jim Harbaugh situation, it feels like he's enjoying this considering where he was last year at this time, where
he always like this. It's every year. Every year Jim Harbaugh's name is connected to NFL teams. He loves this. Absolutely. But I will tell you this. One thing I know is that he has talked to other coaches saying, hey, if I go back in the NFL, would you join me? Would you be interested in this guy? So he is definitely preparing for the opportunity. But I'm going to say he does this kind of every year. Like I think he likes it.
Well, he had to take the pay cut. And then he may have taken Michigan as far as he could take them. I mean, they got blown out by Georgia. People forget that. They're like, yeah, but they beat Ohio State. I wonder if Harbaugh realizes you're never going to be better than Ohio State on a consistent basis.
And then I think a lot of those guys also, there are a lot of coaches. We're kind of like the way you could, like some of your, like I know when I get on my guys at Unbreakable, I get on them, right? I'm always telling these guys, no hands on your hips, neutral face. We don't ever show it. And I know it wears thin on them, right? It wears them out. Eventually, stop, enough. So I think a guy like Harbaugh also like Parcells was great with this. He was like, all right, my stuff lasts for 3 years. And then that's it. And I moved to the next place. And I thought that's why college is great for Jim, because he gets right? He constantly has that.
Yeah.
Right. But in the league, I think he's great. Look, no doubt, the dude's a phenomenal coach. Like you can't contest that whatsoever. And builds winning cultures. Cannot contest that whatsoever. But the smart thing is go somewhere for a few years and then move on and go somewhere else.
Who's the hot coaching candidate in the NFL?
So it's different this year than every other year, because every other year people want the next Sean McVay. And before that, it was the next Sean Payton. And It's just not there this year. We don't have those hot offensive candidates, and it's McVay coaching tree. So guys like Dan Quinn, a lot of the guys that have been around, like Dan Quinn, is a hot name running around, and rightfully so, right? He's won, and you want to talk about building a culture. Like, you can't wait to get into work every day with Dan Quinn. I'll tell you this. I would say 99% of coaches change when they get the head coaching job. And it's a very rare few that, and they have to change to a certain extent. DQ is the same exact dude when he's D-line coach for the 49ers that he is today. Dude has never changed. He's a rare breed.
If the Cowboys happen to lose this weekend, is Mike McCarthy still firmly cemented as the head coach?
I think he is. Yeah, I mean, I would think. But I don't, with the Joneses, I don't know. But I would think so. Look, here's the other thing. Cowboys are a different place. That's like, this is why I say, like, Troy Aikman's the biggest gangster of all time, and that's why Dak is such a gangster. That position is like the head coach or quarterback of, and it's what Jimmy Johnson's like, incredible. Those two positions are like the center fielder for the Yankees and the shortstop for the Red Sox and the center for the Lakers and the point guard for the Celtics, all wrapped up in one. The attention that you get, right? And all the outside noise that you have to deal with. And they get a guy there, Mike McCarthy, that's just got them to think football. I think he's done a phenomenal job. But obviously, with them, their expectations are so incredibly high.
How did the Giants become this much of an embarrassment?
Oh, my God. I don't think they know what they don't know. What they don't know. Even a guy like, look, I said it this weekend that Joe Judge, had first it was like, maybe 75% come back. Then our pregame show on Fox, I said 50-50. And by the time the OT came, I was like, it's down to 25%. And man, there's just, I think some teams, look, culture is everything. Culture is everything. And you look at some of these teams over and over and over who lose, like Washington football team. It starts at the top. And you got to look at it and go, since Dan Snyder took over, they've never won. Well, maybe you got to look at the top down, right? Detroit has never won. It's, Cleveland, the one year they won was the year that nobody else was allowed in the building. Only football, right? Think about that. And then, like, I look what Sean Payton did down with the Saints. He went down there and people were wearing bags on their heads, right? And, man, he went down and kind of taught the owner how to be a winning owner. And you go down to the Saints facility, man, the locker room feels like a W hotel. The weight room is like more ridiculous than everything you've ever seen. They get this restaurant, Drago's, comes down and caters to them every Friday. Like, guys don't want to leave the facility. They're there. The Giants, their culture, they're waiting for the sky to fall all the time. They're just always waiting for the sky. And then, here's the issue, is they always hire from within, from who they know. Oh, let's bring in Dave Gettleman, right? Let's go get, Joe Judge is part of Belichick, right? Everybody, they wanted Matt Rule because he was there for a year. Well, you have this culture where you're waiting for the sky to fall. You got to go outside and build a new culture in there. And you got to build a culture where, man, I cannot wait to get to work every day, and I don't want to leave the office.
Talking to Jay Glazer, Fox NFL insider, his new book, Unbreakable, How I Turned My Depression and Anxiety. There it is.
Look at that.
Into motivation, and you can too. Look at you. You got is that a medium that you got on that shirt there?
My Michael Strahan collection. I got to give him a little plug here. It's a triple XL, but thank you for noticing my body, man. Are you body shaming me right now? Is that what you're doing? Are you body shaming me?
No, I'm complimenting you. I'm envious. Okay. I mean, you look swole today.
I had a late night last night.
What led you to write the book?
The gray that I live in, I call it. And I've talked, somewhat about this, man. I live in this. It's my depression, anxiety. It's been since it's my earliest memory, and it sucks. It's a daily thing. Like every single day I wake up thinking my sky is falling, and people think like, oh man, you're rich and famous. Like my wallet's not an antidepressant. It doesn't work that way. I have never known how to like love myself from the inside out. I don't know what that looks like. So I've always had to use like go do bigger things on the outside to learn to get love. And you don't really have dudes who talk like this. And I did something a couple of years ago and I started talking about, obviously our foundation MVP, emerging vets and players, like I'm an open book there. I open up and I pull my skin back and I talk and I realize, man, like one of the things that helps me be of service, helps me get through the gray to see the blue is being of service. And this book is, it's for all of us who live in the gray, whether you have, like I have, whether it's clinical, you want to call it clinical depression, anxiety, mental illness, or just, you just go through hard times. I wanted to be this voice for the gray for all of us and show us it's okay not to be okay. We need to start talking about it. And like, man, football players, like they hurt their knee, they go right to the doctor. But when our heart's hurting, they don't go to the doctor. And this is what we need to work on most. And as the world has changed. When this thing came out right here, right? And now all of a sudden we're comparing ourselves to everybody else's filtered fraction of a second in life. We think our lives suck all of a sudden. And we see so much hate online. We're not conditioned for that. So for me to see the blue, like when I say I wake up in the gray, it's every freaking day. And it absolutely sucks. It's terrible. And I never know which version of me I'm going to get every day. And then when I lay my head on my pillow at night, those 15 minutes at night, the worst part of my day, because I'm laying down with someone that I don't know how to like or love. And I just think is like not worthy of anything good. So I'm like, you know what, this could help a lot of people. And then recently, because I did the book, I started kind of journaling on social media in real time, how it looks, how living in the gray looks. And that has helped me cut through the gray a little bit and see the blue, see the reaction. And like, man, being like muscles, this is nothing. Like vulnerability is true strength. And if I could be vulnerable with the world and especially the dudes out there, but it's not just that, everybody, I think like we all deserve to be happy and not live in the gray and not let that monster win and keep that monster in the box. And it's a harder world to do that in nowadays. So that's why I wrote it. They came to me about it. And I've always been like, no, especially like this. But I pulled my skin back. And in the book, I explain what living in the gray looks like through a conversation that I had with Sean McVay, who didn't really understand it. And he let me redo the conversation. And he's like, wait, so you wake up every day depressed? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why? I'm like, because I have depression. He's like, I know, thanks. Like, but I was like, Sean, think how much better of a coach you'll be if you can understand the darkness that leads your players to put a helmet on and smash themselves into people over and over and over and over. Or for you and your coaches to work 20-hour days, or for somebody like me who steps in a cage with a Randy Couture or Chuck Liddell and gets punched in my face, like we're off. We got to be off to do what we do here. And I just thought it was a great way for me to be of service to people, man. And I'm proud. And the crazy stuff is my gray. Like I have 12 days. The 25th is when it's launch date. And in my mind, my world's going to come crashing down in the next 12 days. Like I'm trying to keep it together and not cry as I'm talking to you. It's that hard for me every day. Every time something good happens, I feel so unworthy anything good ever happening to me. And yeah, to have this come out, man, where I've already had people tell me that they were gonna, from my posts, they were gonna turn to suicide, and because of these posts, they've here I go, they've decided to get help. Man, that's why I wrote the book.
Well, I appreciate your friendship because you know I went through a dark time, and you reached out to me, and you just said you're here. You know, you were here for me. So
I'm right, dude.
Never forget.
I'm right.
Yep.
That's why, man. We got we need our teams, and these bonds that we have, right? These brotherhoods, we can't do it alone. And I wanted to make sure that you knew you had a battle buddy who was walking this walk with you, dude. And you've always been there for me, man. So I had to be there for you.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate your time.
I love you.
Good luck
I
with the
appreciate
book.
it.
Thank you, man. That's Jake Glazer. Unbreakable, How I Turned My Depression and Anxiety into Motivation, and you can too. Yeah, when I mentioned what I was going through, and I got through with that, got off the air in the first person, one of the first people I heard from was Jay. And he said, "You want to talk? I'm here."